Ericsson. We're very, very proud of that. I have here with me Mikael Helén. He works in our government and industry affairs. And we also have George Esnamata there, yep, which is our representative, of course, in Moldova, as you know very well. I will start with giving a quick overview of what Ericsson is and how we see the future. And then George will give an update on our activities in Moldova. And in here, he started out in the countryside of Sweden repairing the telephone at the same time as Alexander Graham Bell. The only difference was Bell patented it. And I will not dwell through the whole of our business was in Sweden. The rest was export. Sweden, China. In the late 90s also sales to US and India, 90 mobile telephony, and we were early in market. So it's been a very lot of competence building up here in the north of areas. It's the network business that are traditional. That's switches, transmission equipment, radio base stations, so everything that makes us be able to communicate across the globe. In the past 5 years, and actually up till half a year ago I was heading up this unit, we also started to build up our presence in multimedia area. So that means TV, applications, supporting things like Facebook, Google applications, things like this. We as IT and telecom merge together. We are present in 180 countries around the world. It's very so around the world, which is have a fixed base. In those days we had 40,000 people or so in Sweden, and 50,000 of our employees are in services. 20,000 of those are actually people from operators around the world that we have taken over when we are managing the around 22,000 people in R&D. So our focus on personally part of starting that venture and work there for 6-7 years. People. So now we connect everything. Problem for the coffee makers. You put in a chip, you can update the software direct broadband. Mobile broadband have already passed 500 million on the way to 1 billion.
This morning I made a very short presentation, a kind of overall broad overview about what we do in Moldova. Right now I will go also through the same presentation, but with a little bit of details, and if you have some questions, please let me know. We operate a mobile cell. Of course, during relations with almost all the operators working in Moldova, Mol Telecom, Orange, and so on and so forth, implementing the EU-funded projects. I'm talking about the fixed and mobile communication network phase 1, phase 2, and biometric project, which started now. The biometric policy supply project, which started now, is now part of the Orange Moldova, in providing multi.
First, I wanted to share with you a little bit of history. You know that Ericsson was founded in 1876, and 2 years after that, the first phones appeared in Sweden. They looked like this. This is the first phone. You bought these phones in pair, always bought 2 phones, and it came with 50 meters of cable to connect the 2. This is the first Ericsson mobile phone. So, it's
hand portable.
Only 7 kilos. So, do you want to try that? You don't need a gym card for this. You can actually just carry it around. And this was in 1986 we started to get pocket phones. So the first pocket phone from Ericsson, it does fit a pocket. Yeah, it will look like a little bit like this after a while. But it was the first really portable device that you can bring with you. And now phones look like this. And I have the full internet. I have it as a navigation unit in my car, everything. So, as you heard in the presentation, we believe that in a few years' time we will have 50 billion connected devices. All the electrical meters in Sweden are connected. So we don't need people walking around checking the meters. Being sent over the GSM network. For example, surveillance cameras just watching normally, but also surveillance cameras that can actually track. Today, I can get pill dispenser that is already today, it's connected with a GSM telephone, so I can get a reminder when to take my medicine, but it can also send an alarm to the doctor saying, you forgot to take your medicine. What happened? And that I can get on the market today. If I have a blood pressure meter, if I'm diabetic, if I have a PEF meter, just to check my breathing, or if I have a pulse meter, here. Connect all these devices, and this one now in turn talks to the hospital and the doctor. So it means that I can be treated at home. I can be staying at home with all these devices. And that
full check.
Yeah, saves money for the society. And it's, of course, I become well much faster if I can be treated at home instead of staying at the hospital. Medical devices, bringing into cars, bringing in utilities for electrical meters. We all these verticals, all these different industries coming together, in need of connectivity. That's what we say is the network society. That's on a global scale. That is a big change. This is actually a village charger, because this is the RBS 6000 that makes it possible to connect all these small computers, all the devices have both 2G, 3G and 4G. That's GSM, WCDMA. And this is a big site, and in the other end we have Filat. You don't need to have cranes to deploy this one. You just lift it on top. So,
and in the future you can get them up in the
traffic lights. And we use LTE to communicate with these. We can connect cameras and we can connect computers. But if you want all these thousands, tens of thousands of media
Fantastic.
Run, Mr.